Welcome
All right.
to the first annual, the inaugural episode of Legalize Stalling.
Legalize stalling. Yeah, pilot episode. I guess give a little background on ourselves. I'm Skylar Crespo. Wrestled at Michigan State. Didn't really do anything too cool there. Was never the starter. Wrestled with Tucker. We talk wrestling a lot. Text all the time. Say we should start a podcast. So here we are.
Yeah, this is it. Let's also not forget, Crespo here was a four-time high school state champion. Nothing to overlook. Um,
D4. You can't leave that part out.
yeah,
A lot of people like a lot of people like to bring that one up.
all right. Myself, I wrestled in high school in Illinois at Mount Carmel. I was a one-time state champion in Illinois, and then I wrestled at Michigan State with Crespo here, and I was a two-time NCAA qualifier. So that's kind of like our background. Um,
Yep.
we, I'd say we know a little bit more than your average Joe, but we're gonna try and apply that into this kind of setting. So
Yeah. I feel like at least me personally, the main reason I'm doing this is because like I listen to a lot of wrestling podcasts, but I have a lot of complaints on them. Not to be a hater or anything, but I feel like we need more good wrestling content in general.
mm-hmm.
So yeah. All right, yeah,
Agreed.
man. You wanna get straight into NCAs or what?
Yeah, let's do it. 125.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
kid just had a freaking tournament.
Yeah, man. Like I told you, dude, that kid has just so much aura. Like he's
Oh
just
yeah, yeah.
like I don't know, man. He's just a winner, which is crazy that I was talking to you about it that he's never won an Illinois state title, which is insane.
You know what I just learned too?
What's that?
So he lost to Sergio Lemley twice
Okay.
in the finals, and then
Yep.
the other year, what the hell? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, and then and then uh, and then the other year was COVID, so he didn't get to compete because Illinois
Mm.
like canceled their stuff.
Yeah, because didn't Sergio go to Indiana and come
Yeah, he
back?
transferred. That's how he was a four timer.
Okay. Yeah.
But then the other year in high school, he lost in the finals to Josh Coderhunt.
Oh no way! I didn't even know Cutterhant was a Illinois kid.
Yeah, I didn't really even know it either. But that kid's a stud.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Illinois doesn't get the love that they deserve. Like it is like that. I feel like that shows. Like
Yeah,
Vince Robinson can't win a state title, but can go win an NCAA title in his first shot.
yeah. I think,
Um,
dude, Illinois had like the state of Illinois had a
mhm.
great tournament. Like
Yes, yeah. I mean, so did the team. Honestly,
yeah, the team did too.
yeah.
But yeah, you had. Let's see if I can name them off the top of my head. It was Ramos, Vincent Robinson, Coder Hunt,
Yep.
Donnell Washington, or yeah, Donnell Washington.
I thought he's Indiana. No,
Yeah, but he wrestled in high school in Illinois, kind of like me.
I thought he went to Portage.
I
Did he
think he
not?
did. He may have gone to Portage for like a year or two, but he wrestled at
Okay.
Marion. I think he wrestled at Marion Catholic also.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, and then did who else? But there was like nine of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like
Well,
nine.
you know who had a down year is PA. PA only had like four
Yeah,
A's,
yeah.
which is wild. But
They had the most
um,
qualifiers too.
right. And I mean, it's all variant by year too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, um, I think the biggest thing that stands out to me at 25, and this is a dumb prediction, but I think in like 5-10 years we're gonna be like, how did Vince Robinson win the bracket that Luke Lilladall was in?
Yeah, yeah.
I think Luke Lilladall is gonna run it for the next 5 years or 4 years or whatever he has. You know what I mean?
He was my pick going into it.
Yeah, and the way he looked on the backside is like, give him another chance against Seymour, and
He probably beats him.
yeah, I mean that Seymour match was super boring, but like that's the only way he was beating Lilladall.
Yeah. Well, you know that I talked to I think it was the media guy from Lehigh, and he said that those two wrestled in a duel earlier than the year.
Yeah, no, it was close.
Yeah, it was close. So
Yeah. I mean, it's 25 too. I mean, 25's obviously the past few years has just been bonkers. But what else happened at this weight?
Figueroa
Um,
going 0-2 or 1-2.
yeah. Do we think he's going to Iowa?
Who was their 25 this year? Oh,
Cruz.
Joey Cruz.
They're gonna find a replacement. I think for sure. It's just a matter of who's gonna take the bait.
I don't know. Yeah.
And I'll say this. I mean, I know there was like rumors of it earlier in the year, and he tweeted something like, "I love Arizona State." I saw him tweet yesterday. He was like, "Oh, it's Richie Figs Day in Tempe. Like, I'll be back next year," or something like that. But money talks. Like,
Oh yeah.
I remember when they were like, "No, Parco and Teamer are staying at ASU," and then like the next day they're in black and gold. It's like, I don't know.
Well, and then not only that, but like the kid had a bad tournament. Okay, he's a returning
Figs?
Figs. Yeah, he was a returning national champ. He had a bad tournament. He goes 1-2, and you got to think, even if you love your school and your coaches, I feel like there might be a part of him thinking like, damn, maybe this isn't.
Well, I'll say this.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I've been following him a little closer. I didn't mention this. I live in Arizona now. So I've been following ASU a little. I coach at Ncaa school, and we wrestled them this year. So I've been following them since, and they're bad. Like, no offense, but they are bad this year.
Like, relative to what they have been?
Yes, relative to ASU's standards. And obviously getting Parco and Teamer snatched doesn't help. But now you lose Schultz. It's looking a little bleak over there. Like, who's his partner?
Well, who do they have coming in? I know that Pearson Manville is he has promise. He's good.
Yeah, he'll be solid.
Yeah.
They still have Ruiz at 65, who was qualifier.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how he did, but I would guess 2-2, something like that. They're not bad, like you said, relative to where they have been. I don't know. I would think he's got it. Like you said, he's got like in the back of his head. There's got to be a little something that's like, maybe I should check out what's out there.
Yeah, it might be a storyline to follow moving forward.
I'll say this: I honestly don't believe him. I hear rumblings of they're gonna fire Zeke Jones.
Really?
Like, people in this area are like, Zeke Jones is gone, and I'm like, Zeke Jones had a national champ and a runner-up last year. It's like, can you fire him for one bad year?
Well, yeah, especially since like they were never like national champs under Zeke Jones, and now they're like on a decline, right?
Right, yeah, and the rumblings are that I don't even know if I should say this, but I'll say I always complain about people like keeping secrets, but the rumblings are that they're going to hire Angel Cejudo, who's running Valiant.
Angel Cejudo?
Yes.
Oh,
the older brother.
Wow, what are his credentials?
So I think he. See, this is where I didn't want to get into it because I don't know this guy's life story. But I'm pretty sure he was like the man before Henry. Was like, people say he was better than Henry.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if he got a girl pregnant, had a baby or something, but I don't think he ever wrestled college.
Wow, that would be an interesting hire.
Yeah. Now I'll say he's killing it at Valiant. Like,
right.
They're so good. Now, speaking of Valiant, where are the Larkins?
Yeah. Wait, I thought. Were they supposed to start this year?
Yeah, one of them at least.
Whew, I don't know.
And I always see him posting training at Valiant.
I mean, this is a kid. The one Larkin beat Jesse last year.
Like they're
it was freestyle. It was freestyle, but yeah. I mean, the kid's obviously very talented.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, I don't know if that's like they don't like Zeke Jones and they're waiting for Angel to get in, or if it's just like he was hurt this year. I mean, you never know, but it's odd what's going on there. I would say that.
All right, let's move on to 33. A little bit of an anticlimactic weight. Probably, I don't want to say boring because like, I mean, Bird and what did you think of that stall call?
If you showed me just that one clip, right? Don't give me any context of the match, I would say probably a bad call. But I thought Ayala got bailed out like 3-4 times when he should have got dinged. And it's like I also think Bird took him down. I thought it was a takedown.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. I think you reward the aggressor. It sucks to win on a stall call like that, but like, was Ayala really ever close to winning? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Man, it's kind of crazy because didn't Ayala beat him in the season in the duel?
Yes.
And then
he got pinned in the finals.
He got decked at Big Ten.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the kid was he was having a year. He was just doing really well. He looked perfect towards the end.
Talking Bird? Or
Yeah,
Randall?
Bird.
Okay.
People were worried that he wasn't going to beat Braden Davis. What was it, the quarters? Because
Mhm.
like apparently off the scale he looked terrible. But
I mean, that first match he did, yeah.
yeah, in the what do you mean day one?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean maybe that like extra pound the next day kind of helped him out because he from that point on, I mean he just looked fantastic. So
Yeah. Yeah. So get this. I don't think I talked to you about this. He has another year. Bird does.
really,
Yes.
I thought he was done.
I would think so too, but so
I remember he redshirted.
so he redshirted, and this is off of memory. This might be wrong, but I think he freshman in 2020 redshirted the year that it was canceled. Wrestled 2021, doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
So his first year of eligibility is 22.
22.
23, he wrestles again.
He wrestled.
24, medical redshirt. This was his junior year, technically.
Yeah.
He's got one more left.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
So we haven't talked about it. I feel like this is the time to bring it up. Add Ono into that weight.
Yeah. So I was just talking to my boss this morning, or one of my, the clients that I work with. And, And he was like, "What do you think?" He was like, "Well, he's just gonna run through it." And I go, "Listen, he's definitely the most talented kid in the weight on his feet and in freestyle wrestling, obviously.
Yes.
But you throw this kid who's never wrestled folk style before into the toughest environment, in American wrestling, essentially.
Yes.
I think he's going to struggle with two things. I think he's going to struggle with the top bottom game. Like if he runs into like a kid like Ridge Lovett, who's just a hammer on top. I feel like he might have some issues. And then two, he might have some issues with guys like he'll get to legs and these kids are able to roll across their back.
True. No one's ever passed a leg on him in his life.
Yeah.
True. And that's a big adjustment.
That is a huge adjustment.
So, like you said, I could see him running through it for sure. Mm-hmm. But like you said, the transition to from free your whole life to folk is not, I don't think it's as easy as people think, obviously.
No. Well, we saw that one kid. We saw it happen with the kid who wrestled for Oklahoma State against Ayala in the duel.
True.
I mean, that kid, he was like a world medalist.
Yeah.
I think age group world medalist, but like.
Right. But, I mean, obviously talented.
Yeah.
So, this is what I'm anticipating. I want to see him lose because people are going to lose their mind. They're going to be like, Penn State, you're getting the wrong guys. He's not a tough American. He doesn't press the bottom. Dude, the hate is going to be insane if he loses.
Yeah, I'm kind of the opposite because I got to watch him in person at that Lee versus Ono match. He is just such a nice kid. Oh, and I met him, not to mention.
Yeah.
But so nice and so respectful. I mean,
no, I'm not hating on him. I'm not. I'm just saying that
you want to see the reaction.
Yes.
I if he does lose, I'd like to see that reaction too.
Yeah. Now, I'll say this. We were talking about him at 33. I listened to his interview on Flow this morning, and I don't know, he kind of made a joke out of it, so I don't know what to take of it, but he was like, they asked him what weight, and he was like, 25, 33, 41, 49, 57, it doesn't matter.
Really?
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, they need a 41. I'll say that. I don't think he is a 40. He's 33. Looking at him, I think he's 33.
Does Braden jump another weight?
I don't think he looks like a 41. I think
he's lanky.
I think Ncaa is the frame to be a 41. I don't know. I mean, they'll figure it out. They always do.
Who do they have coming in?
Marcus Blaze.
Yeah, but he's a 25, right?
No, he's 33, 41.
He's a 33?
Yeah. Dude, he wrestled 160 at a state tournament.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. What am I thinking?
Yeah.
Well, the reason I thought he was 25 is that he wrestled 57 at the Olympic team trials. Yeah.
But I think that's the last time he's made 57.
Okay.
I would think ideally he's a 33, but maybe 41.
Okay.
And he goes right away.
All right, let's move up to 41. Jesse Mendez. I'm a big fan of, obviously, because
yes, I'm also a fan.
He's from like my area back home. For those that
Mm-hmm.
don't know, and just I mean, gotta be the toughest kid. Like just gritty.
Yes. I mean, he said it in his interview, which was so cold. When
He
he
was
was
just like,
like,
I'm tougher than you.
I love that he like let there be silence after that too. Like he didn't like go into deep. Like, he was just like, that's it. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
dude. I mean, you know him better than I do. Obviously, you like went or you grew up around him, type of thing. But I remember seeing him at tournaments when I was younger, and I think he's a year younger than me in school and stuff. But I remember being like 10 years old and being like, dude, this kid's a dog. Like this kid is gonna be something at the next level. Like he was just a winner, dude. Like he's always just been a winner.
yeah. Well, and what concerned me, well, it didn't concern me, but like I'm thinking, going into that Bartlett match in the semis, I'm like, there's no. I know who he is as a competitor, like just watching him like grow up, and then obviously jump from high school to college, and the kid is just so gritty and competitive.
Yes.
He
Yes.
he hates losing
Yes.
more than he cares about winning. It seems, right?
Yes. Yes.
So he goes into the Bartlett match, and I'm thinking, okay, Bartlett beat him the last 2 times they met.
With no takedowns by Mendez in both of them.
I would have bet the house if I was properly motivated that Jesse was winning that match, which he did.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense. Like you said, you grew up with him, but
I just don't see someone getting 3 in a row on him.
Okay, that's good logic. So my thing, I thought he was hurt. I'm like, dude, this doesn't look like Jesse Mendez. Like, he's not a loser and he's losing. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I think he's hurt. I think Bo's going to get him, which obviously in hindsight, I look so stupid because Mendez always does this. Whenever you doubt him, he goes and wins.
Yeah.
Like, of course, the one time I doubt him, he proves me wrong. But I thought Bartlett would beat him. I thought Alirez was going to make the final on the top side.
I thought so too.
Didn't place, which is crazy.
Yeah. I think he was banged up because for those that don't know, I was at the NCAAs. I was shooting mat side, and I was on one of his mats, and he was just grimacing. Just like grabbing his shoulder. I don't know what it was that he had going on, but I think he was banged up.
That checks out. He didn't wrestle a lot this year too, which they don't have the toughest schedule, I don't think, off the top of my head. Like,
no.
I don't know. You'd think he'd wrestle more, but I don't know. What else happened at 41? Hardy done? Hardy's back, isn't he?
Hardy is back.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Well, all right. I have the whole lowdown on this. So he graduated. He graduated in 2018. Went on a mission trip for 2 years, which I then would be like 2 seasons. So I don't think his first season was until 2021. The weird year where we only wrestled the guys in the Big Ten.
Yep, didn't count.
So then his first real year was 2022. So
he's essentially the exact same as Bird. Or well, no, because Bird has medical.
I don't know how it works. Maybe he had another red shirt in there. I don't know, but he's got another year.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for it. I want the best guys in the bracket. Like, I think it's cool. I don't know. I didn't want Stephen Little to get an extra year, but like if you have a year and you want to use it, I think you should be able to use it.
Yeah. Let's see. 149.
Yes.
Was Ridge Lovett just kind of looked dominant throughout the whole thing.
Finally gets it done. I feel like 3-4 NCAA tournaments he's been to, you're like, this guy's the favorite, and never got it done until now, which great for him.
You know what I was just looking at, and I thought this was interesting, which I think he's done. I don't think he has another year.
Ridge?
Yeah.
Got to be done.
So
I would think.
I was looking at his wrestle stat. He was a national qualifier twice.
At 33.
And then when he went up to 41, his first year All-American was when he was a runner-up to Yanni in Detroit.
Yeah.
That's kind of impressive.
Because he qualified at 49 and wrestled Peyton the first round, right?
That was in 2021.
Yeah.
And Peyton gave him a match. I remember being like, damn, he might pull this off, but...
Dude, Peyton was on that postseason.
Yeah.
That 2021 year, yeah. Dangerous. I guess this leads me to like Nebraska in general, balling out finally. I was talking to a buddy of mine. Did you know that their only 2 team trophies? Actually, when would you guess their 2 team trophies were?
Well, other than this year,
Yes, before this year.
Was it like the Jordan Burroughs, James Green era?
Yes, it's like I might be off by a year or 2, but it's like 08, 09 is the last time they've got a trophy, which is surprising because they've had a lot of great teams. Obviously, I feel like, not to be a Nebraska hater, but I feel like they always poop the bed at NCAAs.
Yeah.
Until this year, which is the complete opposite. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had Van D place, Camden McDaniel place. Like, those were 20 seeded guys. Like,
Silas Allred finally got it done.
Yes. The only one that wasn't was Pinto, which I was surprised by.
No, there was another. Or wait, they
only had 9 qualifiers.
And then 8 All-Americans?
Yeah,
So
they
Pinto,
didn't take a heavyweight.
Man. Yeah, Pinto, I saw his match on the front side against that Army kid that upset him.
Yeah.
He's so explosive. I just feel like he just had a bad tournament.
Yeah. And he made the Bloods even, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Well,
and then he lost to Ruiz. That kid's a stud. That's Simon Ruiz.
Yeah, the Cornell kid.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't know a lot about him going into the tournament, but
that was one of the kids we were shooting.
Oh, okay.
New York.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah, because Grappler's got that New York and Georgia connection for some reason.
It was we were shooting New York kids, Georgia kids, and Michigan kids.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
But
how about this? So, do you remember Henson and Ridge's semi last year?
Yeah, it almost went that way again.
Well, it went kind of the opposite way because last year Henson picked down, got out, or did he pick neutral?
I thought it was like Ridge
picked top.
Yeah, and he couldn't ride him. He got out.
Yeah, Ridge picked top and he got out.
Yeah.
And then this year, Ridge didn't pick top. He picked bottom. Ridge was never on top, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, he picked bottom this year, and then Henson picked neutral. Is what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
So
which is
during the finals, me and my buddy Mike, who I was shooting with, we went up to like the top section. Not like nosebleeds, but it was like the beginning of the top section. And we were just like posted up in one of like the VOMs, like the exits to like the sections. Yeah. And we just saw 2 seats. And we were like, let's just go see if anyone's sitting there. We asked this woman, we go, hey, are these taken? And she goes, no, go ahead. Like, take a seat. So we shot from like seats in the finals. Like, it was kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
And then we ended up bullshitting with her. She goes, oh, yeah, that Caleb Henson's my nephew.
Dang.
Yeah.
So I got one for you. This is way off tangent of 49. We'll get back to that. Quick story. One of my buddies sat by the ref, and we'll get into Gable Hendrickson later, but sat by the ref that refed the match on a flight back. Apparently, he did say those flags are only for Olympians.
Bro.
Which I have mixed feelings about because from like a competitor standpoint, I get it. Like you're trying to get in the guy's head. Like you're trying to be the, you know what I mean, the most confident you can be. But dang, did that come back to bite him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
He's a bold guy, though.
He is. And that's why he is who he is. That's why we all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not hating on it, but yeah, back to 49. What else happened there? Van Ness got third. Kanan Webster didn't place. That was surprising to me.
Yeah, he got upset in the Bloods by that. It was like a
NDSU?
24 seed, yeah.
NDSU, right? Yeah.
Drexler, I think is his last name.
Yeah, yes. I believe Gavin Drexler.
Kind of like the dark horse of the tournament. I mean.
Yeah, and I feel like no one's talking about him.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I didn't do any research on him before this.
Well, and not only that, I never caught him wrestle. I never saw one of his matches. And I'd like to kind of go back and look, but
definitely.
Yeah. 49.
Good for NDSU though, because when Kish left, dude, they got gutted. Like everyone left when Kish left.
Yeah.
And they actually had they had the kid at 33 make the Big Big 12 final too, which wasn't really expected. I mean, it seems like they had a pretty good year for their, I don't know, level.
Yeah. All right. 57. Antrell Taylor. I mean, the trajectory that this kid has taken. Oh, my God.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy to think, like, he was up a weight last year because he wasn't the guy.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're not in that room. Maybe it was more of like a, hey, this is Peyton's last year. Like, have some respect for a guy that's been around. Like, we're not gonna.
And I'm sure Antrell was probably like, all right, this is probably best for the team.
Right. But at the same time, they did let true freshman Chris Minto start over, what's his name, Bubba Wilson this year.
Yeah, but
So
Bubba Wilson compared to Peyton Robb is a little different, I'd say.
true, true.
Bubba Wilson is good, but Peyton Robb was he was like a 3-time All American or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, fair. Um, Joey Blaze making a run.
Dude,
Finally.
yeah.
I'll be honest. I mean, obviously hindsight's 2020, but I feel like I anticipated him like I just thought it'd be earlier. Like I thought last year he was gonna AA.
Okay.
Like I thought like coming out of high school, like this dude is legit. I think he's gonna ball out. Like people are sleeping on him, but he never really like I don't know. He never broke through until this weekend.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, he had a good Big Ten tournament. I believe he beat Antrell Taylor in the third place match.
I believe he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were 2-1 heading into the final.
So he was peaking for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't like that they brought up Marcus during the NCAA final. It's like, dude, let the kid have his moment. Like,
Yeah.
he's the older brother. He's obviously kind of been living in the shadow the whole time. Like, he makes the NCAA final, and the first thing you talk about is his little brother. It's like, K-Sac going down to him, I did not see at all.
Yeah, people were saying that he was like hurt, but at the same time, like he kind of balled out on the backside. I was like, I don't know if he's hurt. He probably just.
I don't think he's hurt.
I just think that Blaze is a bad matchup for him.
I mean, it looks like it. The thing is too, like, K-Sac killed Antrell Taylor at Big Tens. Like,
yeah, and in the duel,
handled him. Yeah, handled him. So that's gotta hurt for K-Sac for sure.
What about Meyer Shapiro with like the coma?
Yeah, with the coma, with the steroid talk too.
That was bold. That was bold.
I don't, like I said, I don't mind people like spreading rumors, I guess, but I would have liked him to like get into more details. Like if you're gonna call somebody out, call them out. Don't have, you know what I mean?
100%. You're like, all right. Yeah, here's the text I got.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that I see a lot of people commenting like they don't really test for steroids, which is fair. I don't really remember getting tested for steroids in college.
Yeah, I mean, I got drug tested in college, but
yeah, I did too, but it was once.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess did you guys get tested at Big Tens, NCAAs?
No. Well, yes, but it was random, so like some guys didn't.
Okay, yeah. Now, at the same time, like, obviously steroids is an advantage. You can't say it's not, but you still got to go wrestle. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, as much as getting stronger helps, like, it's not the entire thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Obviously, we can't, like, I mean, the kid's innocent until he's proven guilty, right?
Exactly.
So, as of right now, K-Sac is not on steroids.
Exactly. What else happened at 57? Oh, we could talk about our old teammates.
Oh, yeah. I was so glad I was able to capture that moment.
Yeah, man, that was a great picture. Sucks for the two that were involved. Like, can't say it enough. I feel awful for Chase and Fish both. I mean, I'm sure Fish did not feel great about winning that match as much as he obviously wanted to.
But if you just look at it from a spectator standpoint, it was a great match.
Yes, storyline for people that weren't involved, great.
Yeah, oh yeah. I honestly, I thought the way the momentum was kind of going after that turn, I was like, dude, Chase might get this.
Yeah. I'll say this, Fish, I love you. You won fair and square. I thought you could have gave him more near fall.
Oh, really? Wait, I think he got 3. You think 4?
Yeah. Wow. He got like 2 counts and then a 3. Where it's like, I think if that's a different ref, maybe that's a 4 in there.
Yeah.
Now, that obviously changes the match. I mean, Fish was the only one that scored a takedown. I don't know. Great match regardless. Not to bring up bad calls or anything. Great match regardless. It went to overtime. Ball doesn't lie. Like,
right. Oh yeah.
That's
yeah. But I mean, obviously sucks that Chase had to wrestle his old teammate in the blood round and drop the match, and he was never able to make the podium. But on the other hand, Fish, I mean, this is a kid who was not like a blue chip recruit
No,
coming
no,
out, and
no.
the fact that he was able to kind of make that, he had that big upset a couple of years ago at NCAA's, beat
Yep.
the number 4 seed Ramirez,
Yep.
and that kind of put him on the map,
Yep.
and maybe gave him some confidence, and then kind of had another down year and then transferred, and I think when David Taylor probably got to Oklahoma State, I mean, he just bought in, right?
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
he was so bought in, and I'm super glad that he was able to get it done in his last year.
Yeah, same. And I'll say this too. Like, I thought Chase looked great all tournament.
Yeah, he
Like,
did. He did.
He had told me that he's been dealing with some injury stuff, and like, if he gets anybody else in the Bloods, he's probably on the podium.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Great tournament by both guys is basically what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Proud of you, boys.
Yeah. You want to get to 65?
Yeah. Why don't we? This is the usual break. I've been drinking water all day. I gotta take a piss.
No, you're good. I'll do the same.
Okay, 165. Mitchell Messenbrink. Obviously, honestly, going into the tournament was probably the biggest lock, right?
Yeah, and I think other than, I don't know if you could call Starocki a lock, but I feel like he's the only lock that actually won.
Yeah.
Caliendo looked good, man. I thought there was a chance that he was going to go get one at the end.
Yeah.
Now, when that's your 25th time wrestling the kid, eventually, it's gonna get closer. Yeah, those two making the finals. What else happened at this weight?
Let's see. Backside.
Amin got on the podium again.
Amin got on the podium. I was Matt's side for his blood round match. It was a close one, and then he put him to his back. I think it was in overtime.
Scholes?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Barraclaw.
Oh, yeah. Barraclaw got 5th, I think.
Yeah. And I was waiting for it all weekend. I was on the floor for his last match, and I was just like, man, if this Penn State crowd doesn't give him a little bit of love.
Yes.
Because they didn't, all weekend. I don't remember them cheering like that. But then at the very end, when he finally wrapped up his career, they gave him, a standing ovation, and he kind of, gave him, the thumbs up.
Right.
And I was like, good, that's cool.
Yeah,
I was happy about that.
Shoot. I had 65. Garvin beat Julian Ramirez in the blood round.
Oh, my God.
4 blood rounds.
4? Oh, really? 4 bloods?
4 bloods for Ramirez.
Wow.
He's got to. It's either him or Mickey Philippi is the best to never do it.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think Ramirez has a better hit list. He beat David Carr.
He beat. I remember back a couple of years ago, coming off of his national title, he beat Shane Griffith, I believe.
That wouldn't surprise me.
And he beat Quincy Monday twice.
Yeah.
Last season.
He had Quincy Monday's number.
Yeah. The kid was just a stud, but I think it's kind of more of a testament to just how tough that tournament is.
Yes, definitely. Nobody's a lock. As we saw, obviously, you just gotta have a good weekend, man. It's crazy. It's crazy how tough that tournament is. I feel like this is honestly one of the more boring weights this year. 65. Yeah. You had some good storylines, like you said, Barraclaw, Ramirez, that type of thing. But I think in October, if you told me that Messenbrink beats Caliendo like this, I'd be like, yeah, it checks out.
Yeah. 74. Honestly, oh wait. Oh no, 65. I want to say one more thing. That Minto kid.
Yes, hell of a year.
Hell of a year, and it makes me wonder what they're doing over there in Nebraska.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and maybe I'm not. Maybe this is me not knowing high school wrestling as well these days. But was Minto a blue chip?
I don't know. We could probably do some research after this is wrapped up, but I don't remember that name either.
Blue chip or not, nobody's picking him to get 4th this year. That's for sure. Like you said, something's in the water over there because like you said, Antrell Taylor is on this crazy path.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he last year, like, dude, he was dropping matches to. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't national title level. That's for sure. Like,
No.
All-American for sure. Great first year, but like, I don't think anybody anticipated him winning a natty this year.
And in 365 days later.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
he's the number one guy at the weight below. It's like I get like instilling confidence in these kids and like working on technical stuff, but the turnaround
Yes.
that they have, and not to mention like, especially with like Minto or Antrell Taylor or Van D, it's like next man up.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, they are
exactly.
ready, and they get in that lineup, and they're freaking killers.
Yes. Yes. Like that McDaniel kid. Like, he's a true freshman. They pulled his red shirt, threw him in. He's a 20 seed, goes Ncaa. Like,
crazy.
Yeah, they're. Did you see that Doug Schwab got Coach of the Year?
Yeah.
No, you and I Doug Schwab hate, but tell me that's not Mark Manning's award.
Like, well, I think they gave Manning the Coach of the Tournament.
Okay, that's fair.
So he did get his roses.
Yeah.
But I mean, you and I had a good year. But I would say that Nebraska just blew him out of the water in terms of like what we had expected to what happened.
Yeah. 8 All-Americans. Like,
it's just impressive.
If this is 2007 or something, before the Penn State dynasty starts, that's a national championship team all day.
Yeah.
3 finalists, a champ, and 8 AAs in a blood round.
Oh, 2 champs.
Oh yeah, 2 champs. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Almost. I mean, and Hardy was like right there. I mean, he kind of Jesse kind of ran away with that one, but like they have close matches. So like, I mean, on paper before those finals, I mean, they could have had 3, and it's like
all day.
And man, it's just like what is in the water over there?
Now, do they lose a lot? I mean, they lose Ridge. They got to lose Caleb Smith, I would think.
Yeah, Caleb Smith is done.
Van D's young, I think.
Yeah, Van D's young.
Like you said, Hardy's got another year. And Antrell is young.
Minto's young.
I would think both Pinto and Allred have another year at least.
Yeah, Pinto and Allred have another year. McDaniel is a freshman.
He's back. And so it's heavyweight, 49, and 25 are their holes, essentially.
Okay.
I think also, I don't know, they could do some moving around up top because Pinto and Allred were down a weight this year from what they were last year. So those two could always go back up or whatever. But yeah, I guess they're going to be really good again.
That was 74 we were talking about?
We never really talked about it. We got into talking about it, and then we just started because you said Minto.
Oh, yeah. Well, we already talked about Hamidi a little bit. I mean, beating back-to-back champs. I mean,
insane.
That's probably the toughest thing you could do.
After he beat Haynes, I kind of wanted to pick him, but I didn't. I still was like, it was like kind of like the Jesse thing where like Keegan O'Toole always finds a way. Like unless it's David Carr, he always finds a way. Yeah. So I was like, he'll find a way. Obviously, he didn't. But like, dude, he kind of handled both of those guys too. Like, obviously they were close matches, but like, there's no like, like Haynes should have had this takedown or like he beat him straight up, both fair and square.
I mean, dude, he's 1 year removed from like hitting the transfer portal, and he looked like a completely different wrestler.
He did an AA last year.
I know. Well, like, and what's so funny? He lost to Olenek, the Oklahoma State kid.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
And Olenek is still training there.
I was gonna say, I think he's their girls' coach.
Yeah, and so I mean, he's probably, he's got like the best training partners. He's got David Taylor and Gilman as his coach.
Yeah, and then Fish and Amin.
Yeah, Fish and Amin, 2 guys he used to battle with.
Right.
Are his.
And then if he wants to go up, he can go get Plot. Like.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, it was his. Honestly, now that I really think about it, it's like we really underestimated him.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. But I'll say this: like Ben Askren said something on Flow a couple weeks ago after Big 12s. Like he was like, if he was like, if Hamidi's not going to beat him then, he's never going to beat him. And he was like, and also Hamidi has never beat a wrestler that is as good as Keegan O'Toole or Levi Haynes. Why are we picking him to do it now? And I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, checks out. Like, wrong. I mean,
it does make sense.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I mean, it's not impossible, obviously. You know?
Yeah, obviously.
So,
obviously.
But yeah, I mean,
yeah, dude, that's crazy. That, yeah. I mean, what else happened at the weight? Levi took third. Patrick Kennedy had a great tournament. Took fourth.
Yeah, kind of a journeyman at this point. I mean,
yes.
he's just always around.
He's got another year, and
Kennedy does?
the Gabe Arnold. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Okay. So this Gabe Arnold scenario is coming right back. Where's he go? Where's he go? Where did Gabe Arnold go?
Oh yeah. Well, all right. How about this? Let's segue now into '84. Gabe Arnold goes 2-2, I think.
Yeah.
He did not make the blood round.
No, not a great tournament. Foca beat him up, which I didn't anticipate because Foca's. I mean, he's obviously really good. He's All-American again this year, but he's a little up and down. I thought like it'd at least be a close match. He handled him.
Yeah.
I didn't catch him on the backside, to be honest.
He lost to I don't know the name. It was the Oklahoma kid, who then
Sachs.
I don't know if it was Sachs or if it was Day. Maybe is that it?
Or was it the Parker?
Parker.
Is that right?
That's it. I don't know why I was thinking Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then Parker in the blood round met up with Jackson Smith.
Yeah.
And Jackson Smith beat him, and I was just thinking the whole time, like, if Gabe would have beaten Parker.
Yeah, if that was the blood.
Oh, man, that would have been
they were
terrible.
like high school teammates or something, right?
Or like training partners.
Yeah, something, yeah. I was glad to see Jackson Smith get through.
Yeah, I was too.
He's a pretty likable kid, I feel like. I don't know him or anything, but I don't know. I thought he was good enough to AA before this year. I was honestly surprised to see this was his first AA. I thought he got it.
You know, when he was up at 84, you saw it a little bit more, but like the athletic ability of that kid is crazy. I mean, he won that match in the blood round with a sick duck under.
Yes.
I posted it on Instagram.
That pick?
Yeah. I mean, the thing was so nasty. That's how he won it. And I'm like, man, this kid used to be hitting that at 84. I mean, who's hitting duck unders like that at 84?
97, you mean?
Oh, I'm sorry, 97. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid's a freak.
Yeah, and I saw in an interview, this was after his placement match, he was like, I don't cut weight. I'm like 186 walking around. He was like, I was up at 97, like having to eat extra to like wrestle that weight. He was like, it's been nice this year to not have to try to gain weight.
Wow.
Which is equally as impressive, you know what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Who else?
Donnell Washington.
Oh yeah.
Gets it done.
Good for him, great for him. I almost wish he didn't, just so you could say Starocki lost a random. You know what I mean? like
it's like one of Starocci's losses was him.
Yeah, now it's like more I don't know, checks out more, makes more sense. But
yeah. But he beat Edmund Ruth. I mean, that was not an easy blood round match.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Edmund Ruth has had his number. Like, I think they've wrestled plenty of times before, and I don't think DJ's ever beat him.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Right.
I could be completely wrong, and DJ's 2-0 against them or something stupid, but...
And then, did you see the thing about he was hospitalized the night before?
DJ was?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
He got rushed to the hospital the night before... It would have been
Thursday?
It would have been Thursday night. He got rushed to the hospital. They it's something about like dehydration or like rhabdo or something like that.
I don't even know what that is.
But... Yeah, it's like something where like your muscles are like it's like overtraining essentially.
Okay, yeah, your body goes into shock.
Yeah. And I mean, kind of like the Shapiro thing. I mean, these kids are facing like just crazy adversity, and they end up getting it done.
Yeah, I mean, I never went to the national tournament, but you can like nobody's healthy. Like nobody there is healthy.
Yeah,
like,
they all feel like shit, but they're all just like pulling it out.
You know? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's crazy. What else happened at 74?
Well, the front side.
Cartfoot didn't AA. Pinto didn't AA.
McAnally and Parker had a good match.
Yeah. That Citadel kid that beat, or no, is that 97? Yeah, that's 97. We'll talk about it when we get to 97. Yeah. What else happened? 74 of relevance.
84.
Yeah, 84 of relevance. Yeah, man, my mind's going blank on this way right now.
Strachey kind of ran through his side, and then
yeah,
and then Parker. Yeah, I just feel like I don't know. Parker's probably good enough to have like beaten Strachey maybe once, but
yeah.
I don't know. It was just it's Carter Strachey. The kid does nothing but win, you know.
And yeah, and I heard a lot of people were picking Keckeisen before the match, and I was just like, dude, he's gonna have to kill him. Like this guy just doesn't lose.
Yeah, and you know that Michael Myers theme he comes out to? It's like so fitting, because even when you think you got the kid, I mean, he just like rises up like Michael Myers. He doesn't. You can't get him. I mean, he just freaking wins.
Yes, I mean, look at McAnally took him down at Big Tens, and it's like everyone's like, oh, yeah, now it's gonna happen. No, not even. Not even close.
It was a fluke.
McAnally's the only one taken down this year. No.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember the last time he got taken down. I mean, maybe he gave up one when his leg was banged up, but.
Yeah, McAnally is obviously, I think, the favorite now moving forward.
Yeah, I was surprised that because he beat Plot for third, fourth, right? I think he did.
He did. He got third.
Which, I mean, that's impressive. Plot's no slouch, that's for sure. Yeah, I think.
So then you throw Ferrari in there next year.
That's exactly where I was going. I was like, is he the favorite? Because on
paper he is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. On paper, yeah. Give me Ferrari. Maybe I'm being too bold here, but give me Ferrari.
Yeah, give me
Ferrari. If we're making way too early picks. You know who else that is definitely forgotten about, and maybe he'll be at 74, not 84, but Rocco Welch coming back.
Yeah. And Rocco Welch was a dog.
Dude, his trajectory freshman year was crazy. Yeah. He didn't plan on going, ends up making the NCAA final. Very impressive, obviously. Yeah, those three, I mean, and they all have years left. That's the cool thing. This could be a great rivalry the next 3-4 years.
Yeah, it'll be like a little love triangle between the three of them.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm leaving out somebody that's really good too. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of just Gabe Arnold, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, you got to think who's Penn State gonna have. I mean, any Penn State guy is probably gonna be in the mix.
Ryder.
Zach Ryder.
Yeah. I saw a lot of people saying that they think Barr could go down to 84. I don't think so.
No, he's big.
I think, yeah, he's big, and why? The one kid that beat me graduated. Why would I go down?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 84 will be fun, definitely. And not to disrespect Keckeisen and Plot and Strachey, but it'll be nice to have some new faces. That's for sure.
Right. Yeah, I agree. So 97, you were talking about Citadel?
Yes, the Citadel kid, Pat Brophy, that beat Luke Serber first round. Yeah. So I worked with his dad when I was living in South Carolina.
Okay.
Funny story, when I first got down there, he's like, oh, you used to wrestle? I'm like, yeah, I wrestled at state, yada, yada. He's like, oh, well, wait, 57. And he's like, oh, my son, needs some training partners. Why don't you go wrestle him? And I was like, how big is he? He's like, oh, he's a 97. I was I straight up told him, I was like, nah, man, I'm good. He does not need me. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see somebody that I knew full of, and I've honestly never even met his son. I just worked with his dad. But it was cool to see him pull up an upset. Not that Serber's the best dude in the world. He didn't All-American or anything. But, yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy.
Who else was that 90? What was going on at 97? Obviously, you had Josh Barr, who was the 4 seed. He kind of got banged up at Big Tens. And I remember just being like, yeah, I just don't. I mean, he was hobbling off the mat at Big Tens.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to be able to put it together.
I didn't think so either. And he proved everybody wrong. I mean, he looked great. Buchanan seemed to just kind of had his number this year.
Yeah, and Buchanan's good, man. He's really good. I think I would like to see Iowa get a little more credit for bringing him in. as much hate as Iowa gets for the transfers they bring in that don't do well, like it's got to go the other way. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yeah. Like
they bring somebody in who's never made a final and he goes and wins a natty. Like,
yeah.
pretty impressive. I'll call it now. Ferrari is going to be the 97 pounder. AJ Ferrari is the 97 pounder for Iowa next year.
Yeah.
I'd put the bank on it. Like, it makes too much sense.
I mean, he basically said he was leaving in that interview.
He basically said he was leaving. Iowa, obviously, Buchanan leaves. They're not going to go get Barr. The next available best guy is brothers on your team. Like,
yeah. And wasn't he there last year?
Kinda, I think.
What was the deal there? Was he like training there or?
Yeah, I think he was training. I don't know if he ever took classes or anything. It'll be interesting to see if they like welcome him back.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing. That is obviously a very dramatic storyline,
Yes.
if he transfers to Iowa right now. And if there's one thing about Ferrari is that he loves the spotlight and everything.
Yes.
So this is right up his alley.
Yes, dude. This is 100%.
Yeah.
Buchanan, or not Buchanan, Cardenas is done, correct? For Michigan? He's got to be, right?
Yeah, he's done.
Okay. I think he took 4th. Ferrari took 3rd.
Yeah.
McDaniel, All-American from like the 20 spot. True freshman, Nebraska. We already kind of talked about that.
Yeah, so he's probably going to be brimming with confidence moving forward.
Big time. Big time.
He's in the mix.
I don't know why I have a feeling like that they'd redshirt him. And maybe let like Allred or Pinto get a last year at 97. You know what I mean? Like maybe those guys go back up, redshirt McDaniel, and
right.
I don't know. That's just prediction, I guess. Who else did well at 97?
197. Let's see. Who was? It was. Oh, man, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. It was maybe a little bit more of a anticlimactic weight.
Yeah. I know the Indiana kid made a run and made the blood around that Solers kid. He was pretty low seed.
He lost to McDaniel.
Okay.
In the Bloods. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, was it? Novak from Wyoming.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy
Novak,
run.
Yeah, he was like catching cradles on the backside.
Was he?
Hitting kids. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't know who that kid was before the weekend.
Yeah, neither did I.
You think it's a portal guy? I mean, small program, All-American.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess Buchanan did the exact same thing, right?
Right. That's what I mean. Not to hate on Wyoming. Like, I hope they can keep their guys around. But, like, if I was him, I'd probably see what's going on up there. You know what I mean? See what the value is.
Yeah. I got to talk to Devin Schroeder this weekend. He's like an assistant.
He's coaching there, right?
Yeah, he's like an assistant there. I love that kid. He's a great kid.
Yeah, he's a man, dude.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, let's see. 285 then? The big one?
Yep, the big one. I didn't think Hendrickson would get past Kirkfleet. Like
I didn't think so either. I thought it was going to be Greg and Gable.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess let's talk about this. Did you see Gable stall out
Yara? Yeah.
Yes. That was crazy.
Yeah. I was watching that one.
I get it though. Like I would do the same thing if I was wrestling. Like
yeah.
Run
Dude,
away.
he had a big like sling on, or not like
Yara
a sling, or it was like a big shoulder brace. I think he.
Slav did?
Yeah, Slav did. I mean, I think he was.
He
had something going on.
Because he forfeited out of Big Tens. He needed an at-large.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of at-larges, Trumbull, I believe, needed one from NC State,
and he got it done.
All-American. Yeah.
I heard he like tore his ACL or something like that.
Oh, really? He wrestled. I think he took 4th, but I think Conci semis he wrestled Treffin, who was his teammate this year.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and they both All-Americans, so good for them.
And then
Colton Schultz took 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, he was a 5-time All-American.
Yeah. I feel like he doesn't get enough love. Like, I feel like people forget he made an NCAA final.
Kind of a surprise. Feldman, no All-American.
Yeah. I thought I picked him to All-American. I thought he was going to. Kind of I don't know if he was hurt this year, but seemed like he was better at this time last year than he is now. I mean, easy to say that when obviously the tournament's very tough. You're not guaranteed to All-American if you All-American last year. But yeah, I would say I was surprised. Keeter took 8th.
That one surprised me a little bit. I can't remember his route, but it just seems like for heavyweight, he's just a little undersized.
Yeah, I think so too. He's like the reason why everybody wants a 220 weight class. I feel like.
Oh yeah.
Like,
and on the backside, I can't remember if it was the 7th place match, but he wrestled Heinzelman, who
I think it was 7th place match.
Yeah, and who I can't take anything away from that kid. He had a great season, like altogether.
Yes.
And he's like a foot and a half shorter than Ben Keeter, and he was just like pushing him around. And I was like, dude, this kid's scrappy.
Yeah, and no disrespect to Heinzelman, but like looking at their body types, like if you brought a non-wrestling fan in, they're like, oh, I'll take Keeter all day.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. Dude, I mean, Michigan does it with heavyweights. I'll give him credit there. Like, they bring in a heavyweight, he's getting better. Like, every time. I mean, shoot, look at last year with, what's his name from Northwestern, Davison.
Yeah.
Nobody's predicting him to make the NCAA final.
Yeah. Ran into him at the airport, actually.
Okay, nice.
You're like, oh, sick.
now you got me thinking, we didn't comment on it, but Trevor Chumley, All-American, made the semi at 57 for Northwestern.
Yeah. Chumley, and ended up 4th. I mean, it's easy to make the semis and get 6th, but I mean, he wrestled back. I mean, he looked great.
Exactly. Crazy too. That's another guy stuck behind Yaya and Deacon.
Yeah.
Like, just waiting for his turn, and then he gets one and goes and takes 4th. Like,
yep. And you know what? On the front side of that bracket, I remember when it was like him and Fish.
Yeah, I was like, Fish is making the NCAA final.
Well, but Chumley beat him in Vegas.
Yeah, I did know that.
And I just was like, I know like Fish looks really good right now, and he could definitely win this match, but like Chumley is kind of a bad matchup for Fish. He just keeps like everything very foundational, and like his technique is clean. So, yeah, but he had a great tournament.
Yeah. But I guess back to heavyweight, we can get into the big one. Like I said earlier, the comment with the flag, crazy start to the intro. Another crazy thing I feel like people aren't talking about is like if Gable scores that takedown at the end of the second, when he had him on his butt in like kind of like a crackdown position.
Yeah, it was like on his hip, right?
Yeah, and I don't think it was a takedown. I think he probably needed 2 more seconds to get one. But that's like a huge match changer if that happens.
Yeah. I think that like first scramble in the beginning.
Yeah.
Where like Hendrickson was like rolling and like really, I think that kind of like set the tone for. Like,
I think so too. Like almost like, oh shit, like we're like this is gonna be a match. Like.
Yeah, and I don't think Gable was expecting that.
No, definitely not. And somebody had told me, they're like, why didn't Gable just stuff the head and crossface on that last double leg? I'm like, dude, nobody has been that deep on Gable's legs in 10 years.
Dude, he hasn't lost a match since Kassar.
Right. Like, realistically, does he even drill leg defense? He really didn't need to until that moment.
He hasn't felt that since probably the Olympics.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't know. I think the shock factor definitely played a huge part, especially when you when you especially if you've wrestled. I don't know if they've wrestled before. Honestly, I don't think they have.
They did at the Open.
Okay, and I'm assuming Gable walked through him. Yeah. I think when you beat somebody like that and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go beat him again. I'm gonna beat him up. It's not gonna be close. And then you're 2 minutes in and it's 0-0. It's like just like that shock factor. Like I don't know. I think that played a huge part in it, especially because Gable was talking all week about like, oh, you're gonna see a different me at NCAAs. Like I'm dominating everybody.
Yeah,
not gonna be close. It's crazy how 30 seconds can change, like, literally a legacy.
Yeah.
Like, before this tournament, they were talking on Flow, like, debating, like, if Gable dominates through this, is he the greatest college wrestler of all time? Does he pass Kale? Which I would say no, even if he did dominate. But, like, that was a conversation.
Yeah.
And now, after this Hendrickson match, like, it's pretty hard to put Gable on your Mount Rushmore, I would say.
Yeah, because he's a two-timer.
Yeah, and that's what I like. He basically went from is he the GOAT to he's probably not top 5, which is crazy.
That is
like,
crazy. That is crazy. And not to mention, like, well, they were like a lot of people on like social media and stuff are comparing this with like the Dan Gable upset.
Yeah.
And like Spencer Lee and Ramos.
Yeah.
And the thing about like the Ramos Lee one was, it was obviously very dramatic because he like, I don't want to say like caught him. He like caught and pinned him. And he ended up pinning him.
Yes.
But this was just like Hendrickson just kept wrestling and like beat him outright.
Yes. There's no.
Well, I'm not saying that Ramos didn't.
Yeah.
But like
I know what you mean.
In the chess game that is a wrestling match, he won. And it was just, I think that is not how people expected Gable to lose.
No. Me personally, if you had told me Gable lost, I was like, oh, somebody caught him and pinned him.
Exactly.
Somebody chin whipped him and got 7 and ran away for the rest of the match. Or even then, I wouldn't even believe that.
Yeah. I'd be like, dude, he's getting 15 takedowns.
Yeah, exactly. And it's almost like, I don't know. This is very armchair quarterback, but does it feel like Gable could have gotten on some more offense? Like, you know what I mean? And
yeah. Well, I think that Hendrickson is like one of the only times in the last couple of years where he's seen like a heavyweight that can move like that.
True.
He's very quick and he's athletic, whereas like even like Greg is just a little slower.
Yeah, he's definitely athletic. Greg is, but like you said, he's not moving like his feet don't move as fast as Henderson's. I feel like.
Yeah.
And it goes back probably to that first scramble, like you said. Like if you think you're going to score at will, and then you get in super deep, and it doesn't, like you don't score, then it's like, oh, maybe maybe you question your offense a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. Another big thing that a lot of people I feel like aren't talking about, Gable could have got out. Like Gable had like 35 seconds to get in this game.
No, I think it was like 20.
I mean, it wasn't 2.
No, it wasn't 2. I think it was like 20 seconds. But I mean, you could just see it on Hendrickson's face where he was just like, I'm going to hold on for dear life.
Well, there's a picture that's blown up, and I'm sure you've seen it. And it's like Gable flat on the mat, and the coaches in the back are like going crazy for Oklahoma State. But there's like a look in Gable's eye that you can just tell, like he doesn't know what just happened to him. Like I don't know. And again, armchair quarterback for me to like, oh, just go get in this game. Like there's a 280-pound man on your back. It's not that easy.
Oh, well, no, yeah, I know you wouldn't say that, but like you see that online.
Yes.
He's an Olympic champ. Why couldn't he just stand up? It's like, well, he did, but it's just tough when you got like a 280-pound leech on your back
that you've been fighting to the death for the last 6.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, but obviously, just I mean, no one expected it, and it happened, and not to mention like everybody kind of not forgot, but like the Gable win kind of like overshadowed the fact that he did the same thing that Hamidi did. He beat national champ in the semis, 2-time national champ in the finals. And
technically, both Hamidi and him, both of them were returning champs. Like that was their first tournament back since they've won one.
Oh, in the semis.
Yeah. Well, and the finals.
No, O'Toole didn't win last year.
Correct.
And Gable technically didn't compete the last 2 seasons. But
I meant in the semis. I forgot O'Toole did not win last year. Yeah. But yeah, I mean Gable, I would say is technically returning. You know what I mean? He hadn't lost at NCAAs.
Yeah.
Since he'd won one. Crazy. Yeah, both of them crazy.
So does he make like a world team run now?
Gable or Hendrickson?
Gable.
I want to see him run it back in freestyle. And I'll be honest, I think Gable walks through him in freestyle.
Yeah.
I think that's a bad match. Like, I think Folk was a better matchup for Hendrickson than Free. I hope so. I don't know. I almost feel like this is going to be like a sour taste in his mouth. Like, I don't want to wrestle anymore.
I was thinking that Gable's probably not going to make a run for like world team stuff. I think he's going to go on to bigger things. Maybe like
MMA?
Like fighting. Yeah, like some
Okay.
MMA. But I was talking to my buddy this weekend and I was just like, dude, I could totally see him entering the Open just to get that win back.
True. Yes.
And then just being like, all right, maybe even though it's not the same.
Right.
I
shoes
got
on the
it
mat for the fourth time. Like
what?
I said, leave the shoes on the mat for the fourth time. do a flip. Like get a little wave to the crowd going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
I think if not though, you got to think Hendrickson's our guy for 2028, right? Or Paris, maybe.
I think that what happened on Saturday night with Hendrickson changed the trajectory for a lot of things.
Yes.
And people don't realize it. And I'll name two.
Okay.
Two of them being, I think Hendrickson is now. I mean, he's got to wrestle Paris, obviously.
Yeah.
But he's in the mix for that world team spot.
Oh yes.
100%. And I think a lot of it has to do with just the confidence he's going to have moving forward.
Yeah.
And, he's obviously training in Stillwater, which is huge.
Yep.
And then the other thing I was going to say is I think that what happened on Saturday night with Hendrickson is going to did so much more for Oklahoma State than people actually realize.
Yes.
That was huge for Oklahoma State. Because even though Penn State broke the scoring record and had 10 All-Americans, that ending totally overshadowed them.
Yes.
And it became the Oklahoma State show.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't mention Penn State having 10 All-Americans until right now. Like, we've talked about Nebraska and Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
It, like you said, definitely overshadowed for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nebraska was the talk of the tournament until the finals. And then I feel like now they're even getting overshadowed by, like you said, Oklahoma State. Like,
yeah.
I saw another thing, too. You're just saying, like, the chain of events this is starting. It's crazy that a singlet pool is the only that this happened.
I was out in Philly yesterday getting, like, cheesesteaks with a couple of the other, like, creatives. And I made that comment, and nobody caught it.
Yeah, I mean, David Taylor's probably not at Oklahoma State. Wyatt Hendrickson is probably not even. Let's say John Smith stays even, and I guess no, it wouldn't be John Smith. Coleman Scott or something, and Hendrickson ends up at Okie State. I don't think he's beating Gable without Taylor's help. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, not to take credit away from Hendrickson, but like, I think coaching obviously played a factor there.
Yeah.
And I'll say I listened to an interview. He said that, which I find hard to believe, but I'm not saying he's a liar, but they were saying like, oh, we didn't talk about beating Gable the whole year. Like, it was just about being the best wrestler we could be and like getting better at wrestling. Like, it wasn't like we put a target on him or anything like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I don't know, I might believe that. I might.
No, yeah.
Because, David Taylor coming from State College, which I think that's kind of the philosophy over in State College.
Yes.
I don't,
like you said.
I'm just speculating here, but it just seems like they're more so concerned about becoming the best competitor that they can be. Yes. And they're worried about themselves more so as they are like, fuck, October 1st rolls around and it's like, oh, well, let's start thinking about the guy who we're going to have to wrestle in March. Like, I just feel like that's not how they approach things.
True. Yeah. On the flip side, did you see what Hendrickson was walking across the mat saying at the end of the celebration?
No, what was he saying?
So, the Gladiator scene when and I'm not a Gladiator fan. I've seen the movie like once, but he's like, "Is there no one else? Is there no or something like that?" Like,
Was it?
is
Are you not entertained?
it? No, it wasn't that. That's
Oh,
like the iconic one. It was
okay.
like,
It's the other one. Okay.
yeah, he's like, "Is there no?" I think, "Is there no one else?" Or something like that. But you can see it, like you can read his lips. He's clearly saying that.
Is there no one
And
else?
they were,
Jeez.
and he
Dude.
had said something in an interview too about like, I was studying David and Goliath. Like, I don't know, like it. Maybe his coaches didn't put a target on Gable, but I think he had a target on Gable for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
um,
It's funny you mentioned that photo, because like, Elon like tweeted it,
mhm. Oh yes, yes, that's the
and
picture you're talking about.
there was like a couple of the creators, like the photographers and stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
that were like upset that that Elon didn't give photo credits. And I just remember thinking, like, dude, it's Elon Musk. Like, he's not worried about that.
Dude, not to hate on your kind, but that's such a photographer move.
Like, where's my flowers? Where my hug
Yeah.
at? Where my hug at?
Oh my gosh,
I
that's
was
so
like,
funny.
bro.
Dude, I'm mad that, and I'm not a political person, not to get into politics, but people are mad about Trump and Elon being there. Like, not to get into Trump, but Elon's like the richest man in the world. I don't think him being exposed to D1 wrestling is a bad thing.
I know.
Like,
I just, these people are, yeah, I don't know what they're thinking.
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, have your opinion on Trump all you want. He is the president of the United States. So, like, I'm pretty happy he was there.
That place went berserk.
Right.
There was like no like lead up to it. Literally, Carter walked off.
Yeah.
And they just go, "Ladies and gentlemen, the 47th," and like the curtains just like open, and he walked out, and oh man, just like what an intro! It was like really cool. Yeah.
So do you know like why he's been going to NCAAs? Because this is his second time, right?
Yeah. So he was in Tulsa, and then he was supposed to be there last year, but I think he got like indicted like that week. But yeah, and
he
then
was on house arrest.
I think he's been coming because, like, I think he wrestled in, like, high school or something.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. And I didn't know if it was that or if it was, like, him just knowing it's probably a predominantly Republican crowd and, like, these guys probably would like me. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, and he's been hanging out with Bo Nickel. Like,
oh, true. I forgot about that.
They've been, like, golfing and stuff. I mean, I'm sure Bo's been in his ear.
True. Know? I didn't think about that. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if he'd be as appreciated at a March Madness game as he would the wrestling tournament, but
I mean, it would probably have to be like the Final Four or something.
Right. Did you see? Speaking of Bo Nickel, everybody hating on the match order. What did you think about that?
Yeah.
I'll be honest. When it first came out, I was like, "This is dumb. This is so dumb." Like, because I thought Gable was a lock. Because I'm like, why are we building up to this 7-2 controlled like final win?
Yeah, I think he should have been last.
Who, Gable?
Yeah. Oh no, Carter.
Carter. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was very weird to do it the way they did it.
Here's the thing: if they're messing with match order, like I remember a couple of years ago in Tulsa. Like they, they'll work the match order around so that like the biggest one is last.
Yes.
So like when Yanni won his fourth,
yeah,
that was the last match, and it's like,
right.
And I remember just being like, okay, well, if we're doing this, why not just like go about it like a UFC card and just be like, okay, the biggest ones at the top, and you move your way down. And if these, if Troy Spratley and Vincent Robinson are a little butthurt because they're first. Well, they were going to be first anyway, but you know what I mean? But it's like, if they feel bad that maybe theirs doesn't draw the crowd as the big ones, it's like, man, they got to get over it. You know what I mean?
You know what my answer to that would be is wrestle more exciting. And and you'll be the last match. You know what I mean? Yeah. I saw a lot of people were mad because the way the order went down, it was like, okay, we bring Trump in and then we show him 2 matches where it's 13 minutes of wrestling with no takedowns.
Yeah, that was. I remember after the 33, I was like, "Fuck, dude, Jesse, you better fucking get going."
And they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. mixed feelings on that because, like, I can watch a 1-1 wrestling match all day and be like, this is exciting the entire time.
Yeah.
I think as like wrestling, we try to appeal too much to like dude, it's a niche sport. Like, I get we want to grow it and all, but like, I don't know. I think we do way too much for non-wrestling fans.
Yeah, try to like kind of pander to like the general public.
Yeah, like
appeal. I'm sorry, not pander. Appeal to the general public.
Yeah. And I think the 3-point takedown's growing on me, but these matches would have looked the exact same if it was a 2-point takedown. Yeah, we still got 1-1 overtime matches, man. Like, I don't know. It is what it is. But you want to get some portal stuff and then we'll get out of here?
Yeah. Well, it kind of just randomly in the middle of the tournament, there was Swiderski and Facundo.
Yeah.
Right? And,
I think.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah, I think both. Well, I think this is the case with any big recruit that's hitting the portal. Okie State, Iowa, Michigan. I think those three make a lot of sense for either of those guys. I saw Caleb Rashton went into the portal last night.
It's Rachi.
Oh, is it?
Do you remember when they would announce his name last year? And they'd be like, Caleb Rachi. And I remember being like, that is not how you say that. Like, that can't be how you pronounce that name.
Well, Caleb something went into the portal, the 49-pounder from Iowa. And my personal theory, I have no evidence on this, is that they said, hey, we're bringing in Swiderski. Like,
oh, and then he was like, all right, I got to get out of here.
And my logic is, one, I think Swiderski fits the Iowa style all day. Like,
yeah,
he's the most Iowa style guy in Ncaa wrestling right now, I feel like. I also think, I saw Rachi tweeted out, like, he was upset about the Ayala decision, like, about something, like, during the finals, he was like, oh, that's a bad call. So, what that tells me is Saturday, like, he was pretty invested in the Hawkeyes. And then the next day, he enters the portal. Like,
yeah.
I think there's something there, but maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah, I could see Swiderski going. I could see him going to Iowa for sure. I mean, I'm sure he's got some sort of a tie to Oklahoma State.
I don't know if he does. I also heard, and this is not confirmed either, but I'm pretty confident in this one, that Chittum is going in the portal as well.
Chittum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
well, they just didn't have a very good tournament.
Yeah. And I've heard from people that Chittum's going in the portal, and I saw on message boards, which is the most unreliable source ever, obviously, that they're both going to Okie State. And this was like a month ago that somebody said they like ran into those two and they said they're both going to Okie State. I didn't believe it.
It's like nonchalantly being like, yeah. Don't tell anyone.
Exactly. Right. And I didn't believe it at the time. I'm like, Swiderski's not leaving. Like, but he is. So I don't know. Maybe there's some truth to that. Maybe not.
So I'm pretty sure Chittum was at like 3 different high schools. And Chittum then he ended up committing to one college and then moved to another.
And then he's
kind of all over the place.
Yep. Big time. So are his results, because one weekend he looks like he's winning NCAAs, the next he's 0-2. Like,
yeah. So I don't know. The Facundo thing is interesting because he not only does he have ties to Oklahoma State with David Taylor, but he also is from the state of Michigan.
Yes.
And
I heard that he grew up a Michigan fan.
Okay.
So there's that. Yeah. I don't know how true that is either.
A lot of people in Michigan are Michigan fans.
True. This is true.
Yeah.
What weight is he going? That's a big thing too. Is he 57 or 65?
Dude, probably 65. I feel like, I thought he was like sucking a lot of weight to get to 57.
I think he wrestled 52 as a freshman in high school and then was never at 57. Like, it was never, you know what I mean? Like, I think he went like 52, 60, 71 or something like that. So, like, I think he is sucking a lot of weight for 57.
I think he's probably a 65 pounder.
See, that kind of turns me off of Michigan then, because they got Massanona still.
Yeah, I had heard, though, that I'm being dead serious. I'm not trying to pull like I don't remember where I heard it.
Yeah,
But
okay.
dude, I'm being dead serious. I heard that like Manzanona was going up. I don't know if that.
Okay.
So 65 could be open at
Yeah,
Michigan.
yeah.
I don't know. Um,
That would make sense. I mean, he's got a big frame. He's but young. Like he could put on size. His brother's a 74, isn't he? The other Manzanona?
is he?
I think so.
I don't know if that kid's an 84 pounder though, because then he would have to go up, right?
Yeah, true.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. So then Facundo would fit in. Well, he definitely would have a spot at Oklahoma State
Yeah.
because Cam Amin's gone.
I guess I didn't mention them. I guess Facundo to Iowa doesn't really make a lot of sense. I just don't see the connection there. I mean, maybe they'll give him a call because they're interested, and
Well,
obviously
what about Ladarian Lockett?
Okie State, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably going to go right away. You'd think.
So
But they have to reload big time. They lose 57 through heavyweight.
yeah. But they have Ladarian Lockett coming in. I don't know if he's a 65 right away or a 74. Probably a 65. So maybe Facundo doesn't make sense there. Because I think he's going to go right away.
You think Lockett will?
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely good. Good enough.
Good enough, yeah.
Yeah. Iowa State, I think, could be in play for Facundo with Metcalf there.
Yeah, that's a good call.
And they like to get portal guys.
If Chittum hits the portal and Swiderski's already in the portal, it might tell him. Yeah, it might turn him off.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like Iowa State had a down year, that's for sure, compared to last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then and now you got, I guess not confirmed that Chittum's leaving, but Swiderski is leaving. Like, I don't know. And it almost makes me think there's like a falling out there. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't assume. I wonder how that lineup looks next year because they got both the Frost coming back. Etchemandia is supposed to come back. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. Anybody else at the portal?
Not yet, but I think honestly, when we open up Instagram right now, there'll probably be an option.
Yeah, true. We'll probably
actually. You know what? Let me just see.
Yeah, let me check Twitter while you check Instagram.
All right.
Because today is definitely a big day for it for sure. I don't know. You got to think like somebody from Penn State probably leaves, right? With Ono coming in.
Yeah, my guess would be either Braden Davis or Ncaa, right?
Right. And I don't know. I think Braden Davis gives me like I'm staying at Penn State no matter what vibes.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because I mean, look at him in high school. Like, I don't think anybody projected him to start right away at Penn State. He didn't seem to be fazed by that in any way. So, I don't see anything on Pat Minio's Twitter.
Yeah, I'm honestly kind of surprised. Well, all right, when did Fish and Chase hit the portal last year? I think it was like Tuesday.
So maybe a day from now, like
yeah, maybe tomorrow's the big day.
Maybe. I mean, it makes sense. Sunday, kind of like let things settle. Probably just now getting back to campus type of thing.
And then Monday you talk to your coach.
Or you just don't.
Yeah.
Just pack up your stuff and get out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have more transfer talk. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, we'll see. I like I said, I already predicted AJ Ferrari's definitely in a Hawkeye singlet next year.
Yeah, so my guess is Ferrari, and then whoever like the small time All-Americans were this year, like maybe that North Dakota State kid, you know, like
not to like just put guys' names under the bus like that, but
yeah, I mean, I'm not, you know, he could love it at NDSU, and they,
exactly,
you know,
exactly.
But I'm just saying, like historically, this is usually how it goes.
And the thing is, like, I don't think that every All-American that leaves a small school and transfers to a big school necessarily disliked their small school, but money talks. Like,
oh yeah,
like you could say no, I'm not leaving no matter what, but then $500,000 is in front of your face, and things change. I think here I'll give some predictions. Like I said, Iowa, I think gets Swiderski and AJ Ferrari. I'm sorry. I think Facundo's Michigan. I think he's going to Michigan.
Yeah, I think Facundo's going to Michigan as well.
I saw Gary Steen was in the portal too. It was like, it was on that Facundo post. It was like underneath it in like small fine print. It was like Gary Steen also enters the portal.
I mean,
but that's like he's a qualifier level guy. Like he'd make a difference somewhere, smaller school.
Yeah.
Rastin or Rasti or whatever.
Rachi.
Rachi. Where's he going? South Dakota State, like the rest of the Iowa.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah. Did Seabrook All-American?
I think he did. I think they only had DeVos. K. DeVos.
I think you're right.
Or did they have...
Because Glazier lost first round. Because he was supposed to have that rematch with Ferrari.
And then, dude, Bennett Berge went like 1 and 2.
Yeah, I forgot about Bennett Berge. Yeah.
So, all right, that's as much as I can do in like speculating terms.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, same here.
I think this was a success. It was a success.
Yeah, for sure.
Our first ever Legalize Stalling podcast with Skylar Crespo and Jake Tucker.
Tuck and Spo, man.
Yeah. We're here to change wrestling media.
Yes. This is the start of the revolution.
Yeah. All right. Well.
All right, man.
All right. Let's do this again soon.
For sure.
All right.
See you guys.
Yeah.